Have you ever looked south from the tip of India and wondered what lies beyond the endless blue? For centuries, a powerful story has been told of a great landmass that is no longer there. It speaks of a vast continent, a cradle of culture and learning swallowed by the sea. This is the legend of Kumari Kandam, a lost world that captures the human imagination, a tale that blends myth, history, cultural identity. The idea of an entire civilization vanishing beneath the waves is a tragedy and a profound mystery, inviting us to look into the depths of the planet's past and our collective memory. What exactly was Kumari Kandam? The legend of Kumari Kandam is most vividly preserved in Tamil tradition, where it describes a glorious and ancient past. The legend of Kumari Kandam is most vividly preserved in Tamil tradition, where it describes a glorious and ancient past. The stories tell us that this vast continent was the original home of the Tamil people, ruled by the legendary Pandya kings. These were not just any rulers, they were patrons of art. These were not just any rulers, they were patrons of literature. These were not just any rulers, they were patrons of immense knowledge. It was under their guidance, the legend says, that the very first literary academies, or sangams, were established. These sangams were great gatherings of poets. These sangams were great gatherings of scholars. These sangams were great gatherings of wise men who created the world's first and finest Tamil literature. The continent was said to have been a place of unparalleled prosperity and intellectual achievement, a true beacon of civilization in the ancient world. The first Sangam, known as the Thalai Sangam, it was said to have been held in a magnificent royal city called Madurai, in the heart of Kumari Kandam. This great assembly lasted for thousands of years, with gods, legendary sages, and human poets participating. It was a time of pure literary genius, producing epic works that are now lost to history. While the full-blown story of a lost continent is found in later commentaries, the seeds of this idea appear to be scattered throughout some of the oldest surviving Tamil works. These ancient texts do not speak of a continent named Kumari Kandam, but they contain intriguing and persistent references to lands being lost to the sea, cities being lost to the sea. They are like faint echoes of a great catastrophe, preserved in poetic verse. One of the most famous examples comes from the epic poem Silapatikaram, one of the 5 great epics of Tamil literature. In its lines, it laments that the sea had taken the Peruli River mountains with many layered peaks, which were once part of the Pandya kingdom's southern territory. Another important source is a later commentary on an ancient text, the Irayana Akaporul Urai. This 8th or 9th century work is where the legend truly takes shape. It provides the first detailed account of the first 2 sangams being located in cities that were later seized by the sea. It names the cities of Madurai Kapatapuram. Section 4. The Bridge to Lemuria. The story of Kumari Kandam took on a new and international dimension in the 19th century, when it became connected to a now discredited scientific theory from the West. In the 1860s, European biologists and geologists were puzzled. They found lemurs and lemur fossils in Madagascar. They found them in India too, but not in Africa, nor in the Middle East. To explain this distribution, Philip Sclater proposed a massive land bridge. He imagined a lost continent linking these regions. He named it Lemuria, after the creature it was meant to explain, the lemur. This was a serious scientific hypothesis at the time. It was used to make sense of a real biological puzzle. The idea of a sunken land in the Indian Ocean became popular among European scientists for decades. Naturalists like Ernst Haeckel pushed the idea further. Haeckel even suggested Lemuria might be where humanity first evolved. He called it the cradle of the human race. Before early human fossils were found in Africa, this seemed plausible, though speculative. Lemuria offered answers to how species were distributed across the globe. Section 5. Myth and Modern Science. 2 stories. When we place the claims of the Kumari Kandam legend alongside modern science, we get 2 very different stories about Earth's past. The mythic claim, a large habitable continent existed south of India and sank beneath the sea. Modern geology, plate tectonics, tells another story. Sonar mapping of the Indian Ocean shows no sunken continent. It reveals typical oceanic crust ridges, basins, volcanic formations. Scientists confirm land masses do move, break apart, and collide over millions of years. But a continent can't just sink like the legend claims. Another key claim, Kumari Kandam, as the cradle of civilization, the first humans, the first language. Section 6. The enduring power of a myth. Despite the disagreements with modern scientific accounts, the story of Kumari Kandam remains incredibly important and influential today. Its significance lies not in its geological accuracy, but in its profound cultural power. For many Tamil people around the world, the legend is a cornerstone of their identity. It provides a sense of deep, unparalleled antiquity and establishes Tamil as a classical civilization with a glorious foundational role in human history. In a world where cultures often compete for recognition, the story of Kumari Kandam offers a narrative of being the first, a source of immense pride, resilience, and cultural self-esteem. Section 7. Echoes of truth in the deep. While a continent may not have sunk, there are real, observable phenomena that could have inspired and fueled the legend of Kumari Kandam. The most significant of these is the dramatic rise in sea levels that occurred after the end of the last ice age. This was not a myth. It was a global event with profound local consequences. As the glaciers melted, the ocean slowly crept upwards, swallowing coastlines and river deltas around the world. For coastal communities living through this multi-generational change, it would have been experienced as the world they knew slowly vanishing. The memory of this very real loss of land, passed down through generations, could easily have formed the historical core of the legend. We even have physical evidence of this process.